We were all horrified, absolutely horrified by the reports of those babies in southern Israel. Look, it doesn't get any worse than that. It just does not get any worse than that, and it shows the barbarism of those terrorists. How have you processed that?
That's a great question. I'm trying to not think about it right now, and I'm not processing anything. All I do is I'm on the front line of the media and trying to explain to people as best as I can what we're dealing with. I have been sadly warning about Hamas, their intentions and their brutality and barbarism for many, many years. We knew what they would do if they could, and they have. The pictures, the images that are coming from the south of Israel should horrify anybody who has a heart and a pair of eyes. Babies beheaded, chopped, bloodied cribs, entire families handcuffed and burned alive. A woman who was pregnant and knifed and the fetus taken out of her body, mass rapes. This is the scene of horror films. And it's happening right now in the world's single democracy in the Middle East, single consistent democracy in the Middle East. This is happening today. And to see supporters of Hamas shamelessly being out there publicly in the streets of New York City and in the streets and the footsteps of Sydney Opera House. I was just there a couple of weeks ago. I love Sydney. I love Australia. Those images were horrible. And I'll tell you one more thing. The images of people chanting death to the Jews, they only prove my point that I've been making for the past decade, that anti-Zionism, this rampant dehumanization of Israel and of Israelis, is anti-Semitism. Anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. And you only need to look at the Sydney Opera House and hear the chants of "gas the Jews" to know that this is real.
Yeah, no, none of that is acceptable. That is absolutely certain. I should tell you, Noah, that that is a minority here. Most people do not have that view. You should know that. And the Premier of New South Wales has come down pretty hard on it. Despite that fact, though, there are warnings that more protests, pro-Palestinian protests, are going to take place this weekend. But further to that point of the protest that took place that you were referring to at the Opera House, there are folks in Sydney at the moment who are scared to go to school, Jewish people, scared to go to school, scared to go to places of worship. They had a vigil last night that was heavily patrolled by police. I mean, is that something that you're seeing that is widespread at the moment?
Yes, I am. I'm seeing this in every single community around the world. I was driving my son to school, and you see heavy security and armed guards in my son's school in Los Angeles. I have a friend who called me up this morning in tears. They posted a Israel flag in their apartment building outside their window, and they woke up to rocks thrown, their windows broken into, and rocks thrown in their apartment in West Hollywood. People have a blinded hatred towards the Jewish people that is sometimes subconscious, sometimes it isn't. I was in Sydney a couple of weeks ago, and even before this mass murder, this slaughter that occurred in Israel, the reports were that 1 out of 3 Australian Jews felt anti-Semitism, and over half of Jewish students on universities and Australian universities were hiding their Jewish identity. So the fear to walk around being who you are, having your identity displayed, like my Stars of David that I walk around wearing around my neck, that fear has been real even before these attacks. And now it's only getting worse. People should really notice it. I know it's minorities, but it's very, very proud minorities and very, very aggressive minorities. So yes, I can tell you that there were flyers that were spread out on social media of Muhammad Def from Hamas, I believe it was, or somebody from Hamas, calling on a walk on Al-Aqsa. So calling on all of the Arab Israelis and the Lebanese, Syrians, Jordanian to walk on Israel, and calling on all Arabs living in other countries to slaughter Jews. And I can tell you that I've been getting reports from my community and a lot of communities around America that are of Jewish communities that are extraordinarily afraid of that. So be vigilant, be aware, be safe.
Noa Tishby, really appreciate your time this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll talk to
Thank
you
for having me.
again soon.